6 signs that the Chinese economy is in big trouble. 1. China has been overbuilding. China's infrastructure projects are impressive. They were financed by huge domestic investments. Indeed, China had the highest level of domestic investment. Such heavy spending was underpinned by financial repression. State banks set deposit rates very low. This meant they could raise funds inexpensively. China built thousands of highways, airports, bridges, and houses. Yet 1/5 of apartments are unoccupied. A $5.5 million high-speed rail station in Denzhou sits empty. Passenger demand was so low, it never opened. The province of Guizhou has more than 1,700 bridges and 11 airports, but the province is $388 billion in debt. This overbuilding has put a strain on the economy. 2. The property crisis has not been solved. China's real estate crisis began in 2014 and deepened during COVID. Mortgage boycotts were followed by a string of defaults. Economists expected the market to recover in 2023, but the recovery never happened. Property sales are down 70% compared to pre-pandemic levels. Housing starts are only about 40% of their 2019 level. Developer Evergrande defaulted on its debts in 2021. This year, it recorded a 2-year $81 billion loss. Too much wealth is tied up in the property sector, but with its value dropping, nobody is willing to sell. 3. China doesn't have enough energy. China imports most of its energy. It's now trying to stockpile Russian crude while it's cheap. For the first half of 2023, China imported 11.4 million barrels a day. That's an 11.7% increase year-on-year. But China can never stockpile enough energy to become self-reliant. 4. The Chinese economy is too politicized. China's 3 largest trade partners are the US, Japan, and South Korea. All of them are worried about Xi Jinping's authoritarian tendencies, so foreign partners are turning elsewhere. Chinese exports to the US dropped 23.7% in June 2023. Nearshoring trends have also picked up. Mexico has emerged as America's new biggest trade partner. Manufacturers are increasingly turning to Vietnam or India. This is a direct consequence of political cronyism. Xi has installed CCP members in corporations. His government has prioritized state-run firms. This naturally spooks the private sector. It also makes China less attractive for foreign investment. 5. China's one-child policy is having unintended consequences. China's population is on the decline for the first time in 61 years. Last year, the country lost 850,000 people. By 2100, it may lose half of its population. Aging is consequently a huge problem. In 1990, 5% of Chinese people were 65 or older. Now that number is 14%, and it could surge to 30% by 2050. Yet Beijing and Shanghai have the world's lowest birth rates. Working-age adults now have to support their parents. Education costs for children are climbing too. 6. China is running out of money. The Chinese economy is based on borrowing, so this is the solution local authorities turn to in a crisis. They keep borrowing and building. In 2022, total debt climbed to nearly 300% of China's GDP. That's an increase of more than 100% in 10 years. Much of the debt was incurred by cities. It's the largest credit boom in human history, but there simply isn't enough cash to cover those debts. The overbuilding bubble will inevitably burst too. Can China get back on track, or is it too late?